Hey folks, how's it going? Yeah, it's not Wednesday, but it's Friday, and I have some awesome stuff. Well, you might find it awesome. I hope. I know I do. Okay, so, went to Walmart today, grocery shopping, Easter shopping, stuff like that, and, tons of stuff. Why they didn't have all this stuff at Christmas, and they have it now, I don't understand. But, yeah. Alright, so first thing I got today, and there's a few good things. Millions of dollars. Titus O'Neil. Darren Young. Why he came with the stop sign, I have no idea. Why did he come with the stop sign? I don't know. Yeah, so Battle Pack. What is this? Battle Pack. I don't know. This is their first figure. Wait a second. This is first time in the line, but Darren Young has had a figure before. I don't know why. It says, man, you cannot see Titus O'Neil, and I hate to say why, because it's going to make me sound like a giant racist, but yikes. There. Look at it. There you go. Okay, there we go. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah. Yeah, so Darren Young and Titus O'Neil figures. Last Darren Young figure I bought with, David Otunga? Was it Otunga and Tarver?
Yeah, I think
it was Otunga and Tarver 2-pack. Darren Young's feet were all jacked up, and you couldn't see it from inside the box. So when we opened it, he opened it to play with it. His feet were like all floppy and shit. So he couldn't play with it. He had to tape the feet to make it look like something was wrong with it, like he had a peg leg or something. So yeah, it's cool. Here it is again. Here's the back. They also had Sheamus and Randy Orton for some reason. Why they're in a 2-pack, and when they haven't feuded in over a year, 2 years. It was like what, 2 Rumbles ago? I think it was, maybe. Yeah, and Kane versus Daniel Bryan when there's already another pack out with them and the tag belts, I think. So yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I don't question their. I love the figures, so I don't bitch. Next, I said on another video last week about the awesome DVD sale they have at Walmart right now, where everything's pretty much like $5 to $10. Today, when I went grocery shopping, I picked up 3 DVDs. First one, History of the World Heavyweight Title. This came out in 2006, and it.
What's the cat doing?
What the hell are you doing, cat? This came out in 2006, and I have not seen it anywhere since then, and it randomly popped up. This is the lineage of the. This is the WCW NWA title. That later morphed into the SmackDown title. Or Raw and SmackDown title, I guess you could say, at one point. Covers from 1905 to 2009. I don't think there's really any. It's got, Pat O'Connor versus Buddy Rogers, Gene Kiniski versus Dory Funk Jr., Jack Briscoe versus Terry Funk, Harley Race versus Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair versus Magnum TA, Ric Flair versus Sting, Ric Flair versus Scott Steiner, Lex Luger versus Barry Windham in the cage match, which is an awful match. This is a good match. Vader versus Ron Simmons from Baltimore. That's the one where it was supposed to be Sting versus Vader, but Jake Roberts came out and DDT'd him on a chair, and they held a lottery and ended up going to Ron Simmons. Vader versus Ricky Steamboat, Hulk Hogan versus Flair, Sting versus Hulk Hogan, Hogan versus Goldberg, Jeff Jarrett versus Booker T, Rock versus Jericho, Triple H versus RVD, Triple H versus Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle versus Taker, Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton, Batista versus Undertaker versus Edge, John Cena versus Jericho. That is where the night before Jericho lost that Loser Leaves Town match and Bischoff fired him. Jeff Hardy versus Edge is the last match. I'm guessing that's the one where Jeff Hardy wins the belt for the first time, maybe? I can't remember. And it's all jacked up. That's the thing about these DVDs. They're so old. The cases are jacked up. So if you go and get them, don't expect them to be in, like, pristine condition. Alright. So next DVD is, and well, it kind of follows the other one. History of the WWE title. If I got one, I had to get the other. This was $9.96 as well. This has, that's got a lot of matches on there. Let me just go over the good stuff. Bob Backlund versus Greg Valentine. Bob Backlund versus Sergeant Slaughter. Hogan versus Bundy from WrestleMania 2. Quite possibly one of my favorite matches ever. Hulk Hogan versus Mr. Wonderful in a cage match from Saturday Night's Main Event. That's the one with the double finish. What's next? They skipped a lot of Hogan versus Randy Savage matches that he had. You think that would have been on there? Bret Hart versus Owen from SummerSlam 94. The awesome Shawn Michaels versus Mankind match from Mind Games. Royal Rumble with a Triple H versus Cactus Jack street fight. Where Cactus takes the pedigree and the thumbtacks. Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit from the Rumble. That was that, I think, 39-minute match that got a standing ovation afterwards. And it ends with a weird match. John Cena versus Chris Jericho versus Christian. That's a weird match to end the DVD on. I just got a text. Hang on one second. Yes, I know, I'm rude. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay. Next up. And this was only $5. So if you can find this, it's a good one. WrestleMania 23. The Walmarts go from 1 to 15, 23 to 28. So this is This is as Cena versus Michaels, Batista versus Undertaker, Lashley versus Umaga, Money in the Bank, the ECW 8-Man, Melina versus Ashley Massaro? I'm guessing? I don't even remember that match. Ugh. Wait, wasn't that the one that... Didn't that take place before the show? Kane versus Khali, and Chris Benoit versus MVP, which I remember being an awesome match. 2 disc. These have art for some reason. I don't know why. Why the other ones didn't. So yeah, I found that kind of strange. Next up, well, these next 3 things that I got, it's awesome because you would not, 2 of the things you would expect to find at this place, but 1 thing definitely not. Books A Million, which is a bookstore. I don't know if you folks have them where you live, but we have them here. It used to be 2. It's kind of like a Barnes & Noble, but it has a much smaller coffee shop in it. And this was completely random. It was jacked up to hell, though. They had 2 wrestling DVDs. They had the 2005 Hall of Fame, which I think is the one with Jesse Ventura and Don Morocco. And I didn't get it because it was all jacked up. It was ripped, and you could hear the DVDs moving around, and the case was smashed. But then I dug a little further, and I see this guy's ugly face staring at me. Chris Benoit. Backlash, 2004. Random in a bookstore. And only for $5. Now, this is exactly how it was. They had a price tag on it and just a little bit of a wrapper left to it. Like it had been through hell. Like this DVD had seen better days. But yeah, look, it says PlayStation 2 compatible on the back of it. That's how old this DVD is. This it's from April 18th, 2004. It's Benoit versus Triple H versus Shawn Michaels. Randy Orton versus Cactus Jack. And that hardcore match for the Intercontinental title. That's an awesome match. You should definitely watch that match. Christian and Trish Stratus versus Chris Jericho. Lots of C's in there. Edge versus Kane. I don't remember. Is that when Lita dumped Kane for Edge or some shit? Shelton Benjamin versus Ric Flair. Hurricane and Rosie versus Rene Dupree and Sylvain Grenier. Victoria versus Lita, and Tajiri versus Jonathan Coachman. But, yeah. And it has, an insert. It has, chapters. And, wrong way. There we go. So, yeah. I thought that was awesome. And I looked for a few more. They had bragging rights, but it was recent, so I didn't get it. But, yeah, they had this. This was awesome. And this is out of print. This is, a bitch to find because they took everything off the shelves that had Benoit on it. So that was big. And next thing I got, comic book fans, Captain America Reborn. I'm pissed because of this. Yeah, that's gonna be a bitch to get off. This is where Captain America comes back to life, I guess is what you call it, after that whole getting shot in the head thing, you know, by Crossbones. Well, apparently not Crossbones. I don't know. I haven't read it yet, but yeah, I read the first few pages. $7, regular $25 on sale for $7. They are getting rid of all of their comics, Marvel comics, for some reason. Because I think the deal is Marvel is going over to. They made a deal with Amazon, and Books a Million and Barnes and Noble are with the Nook. So they were like, well, we want your comics, but
What was
so they didn't do it. So they decided to take them off and mark them down really low. They've got all the Death of Spider-Man stuff, like the prelude, the actual death, and then the aftermath, and they also have the tie-in books with the Ultimates versus the Avengers, the new Ultimates versus the Avengers. I would just get the main 3 books. I remember reading. Actually, I think I might have one of those. Anyway, now, as you can see, Garrus in 7. So you know I'm a huge fan of Mass Effect. So this should come as no surprise. The art of the Mass Effect universe. This is a beautiful book. I love it. I want to kiss it. I love it so much.
That is creepy.
It's awesome. It's got a lot of cool designs in it. Let me show you my favorite ones. There's something supposed to be in here that supposedly ruined the game. I don't know what it was that ruined it, but I haven't gotten to it yet. It shows like the cities and all kinds of stuff. So here's like some of the Reapers and stuff. It's really cool. That's pretty much just what it is. Given like details on the sketches and everything, and what they were thinking of doing, and maybe this is what they were talking about. The elusive man there being a getting turned or slowly turned into a Reaper, whatnot. That's all I'm guessing. Yeah, they wanted to turn him into a jacked up type thing too. Damn, that's awesome. I never saw that before. It's got stuff from Kai Lang in here. Edie. I'm glad they went with some of these decisions that they ended up on, because some of these these like first sketches, they kind of shitty. Like Joker, he looks like a douche. He looks like Ben from the Walking Dead playthrough. But yeah, it separates it by game, so it's pretty cool. $40. A little steep. Put out by Dark Horse, so you know it's good. But yeah, definitely if you're a Mass Effect fan, you gotta have that. But yeah, all right, folks. Well, thank you for watching. Have a good Easter, and if you don't celebrate Easter, have a good weekend. You know. I'm going to get you. What? Are you beating me? You're beating me. That hurt. Oh dear, I think he's gonna go beat me now. Toodles.